Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of our community. The last couple of episodes have been definitely longer than my normal recordings, and my intention for this podcast was to try to give as much value as I can from things that are going on in my life and things that I am learning while I am on my journey to building Presence of Being, our community, the brand that is Presence of Being. And I wanted to keep these recordings short, sweet, actionable, where you can take a couple things of value, maybe one nugget of value, go apply it to your life, your self-development journey, whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is you're creating, or if you're pursuing a goal, you take one nugget of value, maybe apply it to your own life, and maybe the recording is 7 minutes long, maybe it's 12 minutes long, maybe it's 20 minutes long, but they're short, sweet, concise, and actionable. That's the goal. I'm sure at some point I will get to a place where I record more lengthy episodes, like hour-plus recordings, in addition to being more consistent with the visual alongside the recording. But for the time being, I'm going to work with what I have and try to be as consistent as I can be with these more concise forms of content, even if they're only 7 to 15 minutes long, let's say, or 7 to 25 minutes long. If you like this form of content, if you like the length of these recordings, let me know. I am open to all feedback. Just message me on Instagram at Presence of Being, and I'm more than happy to chat if you have any comments, any questions. If you want lengthier style episodes, like the 30-minute plus, hour plus traditional podcast style, let me know also. I'm open to all sorts of feedback. One thing I would like to say is me recording these podcasts is, I visualize it as there's somebody on the other side who is in a similar position to me, and I'm just trying my best to provide maybe that one small piece of value that will help you because it has helped me. I do my best with these recordings to edit them, but I'm learning with it. I don't have all the answers, and I'm new to just producing content in general. This podcast I started a year ago, and me posting short form content on like Instagram and TikTok, it's only been about a year and a half. So I am not perfect at this whatsoever, but the reason I am producing content and the reason I am trying to be as consistent as I can be is because I have a vision of what I see Presence of Being, our community, and the brand that is Presence of Being, and everything that can be built under that umbrella of Presence of Being, under the umbrella that is Presence of Being. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that producing content through the podcast in short form is going to help me get there. As I get better with recording and editing and just speaking, because I'm doing it consistently, it'll be interesting to see the evolution of how this podcast, for example, grows, what it can grow into, and what the community can continue to grow into as well. I can promise you that over time, my ability to get my point across and edit these recordings, again, will improve, will get better, and it'll be interesting to see that progression. So I appreciate you being here for this journey, for this evolution, and I appreciate you being patient with me. Now, I do have a Discord community for the Presence of Being community, but I want to make it more focused so people who are interested in self-development and people who care about presence, which obviously is what I'm all about, can come together and just share things that have helped them, a safe space where people can come share their own ideas, maybe share different resources like books or meditations that have helped them. So I'll drop the link to the Discord in the description of this video or this recording so you can go join that if you're interested. Getting back on track, the recording that I am making today is all about action and taking action in the midst of resistance, in the midst of fear, in the midst of fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, or in the midst of just feeling stuck, period. This is something that I think everyone goes through when they are on their self-development journey or in pursuit of building something, creating something, going after a goal. If you find yourself in a position where you feel stuck or you feel resistance or you don't know exactly what direction to go in, that's normal. It's completely normal. It's completely natural. And I think everyone who, again, is in pursuit of growth faces resistance in some form, in some capacity at some point. If you knew exactly what you were doing, then you wouldn't be growing, because growth happens in discomfort and it happens in unknown territory, unknown circumstances. So if you knew exactly what you were doing all the time, then you would not be getting better, you would not be growing. I have found in my personal life, and literally in what I'm building and what I'm creating right now, that if I stand still in the face of resistance or when I feel stuck, the insights and inspiration and intuition that I could get are cut off. I do not experience magic in the sense that sometimes when things are really going and you're in this flow, you get magic, you experience magic, you see magic in your life unfold and things that help you move closer to your goal. Synchronicities appear. You may bump into somebody who helps you get to where it is you want to go, or you hear something, or you see something that gets you motivated to go and do something X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. You cut off that flow of magic. You cut off intuition. You cut off inspiration and insights when you stand still. And when you don't take action in the midst and in the face of resistance and fear of judgment or embarrassment, whatever it is. Now, you may not know exactly what action to take. You may not know exactly what direction to go in, but as long as you are moving forward in some capacity, you turn on the tap and you allow that flow, you allow that rhythm to continue. And because it's continuing, you're open to the magic. You're open to intuition. You're open to insights that are inevitably going to come while you are in that flow. As long as you are taking action that in some degree benefits you and helps you, and keep in mind that it may be completely separate to what you're building towards. It may be completely separate to the path that you take towards your goal. It may have absolutely nothing to do with your goal. But as long as you are taking action, it's 1% small action, it doesn't need to be anything grand, doesn't need to be anything massive, just as long as you are taking small steps forward towards your betterment to improve yourself, you keep the tap on and you still access that flow. You still access that rhythm that will allow intuition and insights to come to you that may then help you and give you some sort of inspiration or some answer that you're looking for that will help you, that you'll be able to apply to getting to your goal that is in alignment with your goal. So it's really just about staying consistent and continuing to act in the best way you possibly can, even when you face that resistance. So for example, if you're working on a certain project, you've gotten clear about what it is you want and you're working on it, and for some reason you're feeling stuck, you're feeling resistance, you may be questioning certain things, you don't know exactly which direction you should go in, but you know the importance of taking action. You know the importance of continuing to move forward and not just being at a standstill and being paralyzed by maybe the fear or the questioning or the resistance. You understand the importance of moving forward. So you still do things, you still take action that you know is going to benefit you. You're still keeping up with your meditation practice. You're still going to eat healthy. You're still going to go to the gym a couple times a week because you know that it elevates your level of energy. You know you're still going to keep up with that commitment that you made to somebody else and honor that commitment because you told that person that you were going to do X, Y, or Z. You know the importance of still moving forward, still keeping that tap on so the flow, the rhythm can continue to move, continue to cycle so you can catch that next wave of inspiration and intuition when it hits you. You know the importance of it. Watch and see what happens. Because when you're acting and in motion and you're in movement and you're in progress and you aren't standing still, that's when you catch certain things. That's when you get ideas. That's when you get intuition. That's when you get inspiration and insight that help you, which then you're able to take and apply it to getting to your goal. It can be a very slippery slope when you face resistance and challenges and you start questioning certain things to not keep up with your overall self-development just because you're in a rut. If you see yourself starting to enter a rut, it's still important to try your best and keep up with all the good things that you surround your mission or whatever it is you're doing, your purpose, so that it can support you in those times of doubt or whatever it is, resistance, or just when you feel stuck. And again, this happens to everybody. It's just important to have certain parameters and things in place so that when you do get that resistance, when you feel it coming on, when you start feeling stuck or you start questioning things, you still have your other self-development practices and the things that you do in your life that you've made a habit and routine to lean on and to support you. Like, for example, let's say every single morning as part of your self-development practice, or a part of your routine, your habit, whatever you want to say, you meditate for 10 minutes every single morning. Meditating every single morning helps you become more present, helps you become more focused, you feel more aligned and centered within yourself, which is going to help accelerate your purpose, your mission, and you creating or building whatever it is you're doing. It helps support that aspect of your life. When you start questioning certain things in that aspect of your life, your mission, your purpose, or you feel stuck, you feel like you're standing still, you could slip up and stop meditating because you feel like you're in a rut, and that is only going to continue to harm you. If you keep up, so continue to take action in the midst of that rut. So you continuously do your meditation practice 10 minutes every single morning as you normally would, and you lean on that practice because you know that it's going to help you. It keeps you in that flow. It keeps you in that rhythm. You're still acting. You're still taking action, which is then going to allow you to still be open up, still have that tap open, so the flow, the rhythm can continue to go, and intuition is going to be accessible from that state. Insights are going to be accessible from that state. You're going to get things that will allow you to overcome that hurdle because you're still in movement. You're still acting. You're still doing something that benefits you and helps you. Don't lose all hope once you start questioning things or doubt certain things, or you face resistance or fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, whatever it is. If you still act and you still do things that you know is going to benefit you, even in small ways, the tap is still on, the water is still flowing, it's still flowing. You're still going to be able to catch that rhythm because you're in motion. You're acting. You aren't at a standstill. And a lot of times, and this has happened in my life, when I feel like I question certain things or I'm not in the place that I want to be in, it's easy to slip up. And then next thing you know, a couple days have passed or a week even has passed, and you aren't leaning on the things that you know benefit you. You aren't sticking to your habits. And it's just going to be a lot harder in that case to get back on the horse and get over those initial hurdles. So the number one thing I can recommend from this recording is to keep moving. Lean on your pillars. What self-development practices and things that you do consistently that you know when you do them, it elevates your level of energy and it keeps you in that flow. It keeps you in that rhythm. Because when you're in that rhythm, you're in that flow, you're going to be able to overcome those hurdles. Like I said, you're going to get that intuition. You're going to get that insights. Oh, you know what? This is what it is. I know which path to go down now. Or I got it. This is what I need to do. And then you just keep on rolling. You keep on rolling because you're in flow. You're in action. You're moving. You aren't standing still. It may have nothing to do with your goal. It may have absolutely nothing to do with what you're actually building or what you're actually growing towards. But if it's bettering you and if it's in alignment with you, continue to do it or start doing it. So you're still in rhythm, you're still in motion, and that's when good things come to you, when you're operating from that higher level of energy. When you get into a rut and you face resistance, it's very easy to feel sorry for yourself and you start vibrating at a lower level of energy. And then maybe you start doing things that aren't the best for you, which again, lower your level of energy. It's just, you're like digging yourself in a hole, and it's just going to be a lot harder for you to get out of that hole unless you are proactive and continue the flow, continue the rhythm. Now, keep in mind that continuing the flow and continuing the rhythm, continuing to take action and taking steps forward doesn't mean that you aren't allowing yourself time to reset and refocus and recharge. Because giving yourself time to relax can still be proactive. Recharging your batteries and just kind of detaching for a bit is productive, at least in my eyes. Like sometimes in order to take 2 steps forward, you need to take 1 step back. So don't think that you need to be go nonstop in order to continue this flow, to get over that hurdle that you may be going through. Sometimes it's best to just detach, refocus, and look at things from a bird's eye view. But yeah, take action in a way that feels in alignment with you and lean on those pillars. And I've spoken about this before, but you should have, again, in my eyes, you should have like certain pillars that you lean on consistently, certain habits that you do that elevate your level of energy and that make you feel like you're doing something right, whether that be a meditation practice, 5 to 10 minutes every single day, or a journal practice that you do every morning or every night, or maybe you go for a walk every day. Whatever it is, you should have those pillars that you lean on even in times of difficulty. Don't cut those out just because things aren't necessarily going your way. You got to lean on your support in order to get out of that hole sometimes. So continuously take action if you can, in a positive way, in a way that's going to better you, and you allow yourself to really just continue that flow of magic, continue that flow, continue that rhythm, where you're open to intuition and insights that will then help you get out of that rut, get out of that hole that you may find yourself in. So that's basically all I wanted to get across in this recording, in this video. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you have any questions or any comments, I'm always down to chat in my DMs. I answer all of my DMs at Presence of Being on Instagram. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for being a part of our community. Also, if you have any recommendations for these recordings, things that you want me to talk about, things that you want me to talk about in TikTok videos or on Instagram, I'm more than happy to do that. Also, I'm going to link the Discord community that you can join in my bio. And also, I have a mindset guide that I've put together. It's over 100 pages long, where I go in depth on creating your ideal identity and developing purpose, how to find your purpose, manifestation, everything that I've learned in my self-development, I have put together in this one document. And I also have a 40-minute training that's available in my bio as well. So check that out if you're interested. And if you are enjoying these recordings or you enjoy being a part of the Presence of Being community, it would mean a lot if you gave this podcast a review or 5 stars. If you've enjoyed these recordings and these videos, it would mean a lot to me. It does a lot, and it helps me get this message out to people that I know will resonate with what we're building over here at Presence of Being. There's almost 1,000 followers for this podcast, which blows my mind. Every day we're continuing to grow. So I'm very, very grateful. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you again, and I will see you in the next recording.